Hey guys, this is Travelsage, and I'm here in my beautiful casa in upstate New York. And you know, my buddy wanted me to make videos about politics. And you know, I'm actually a very political animal. I've studied history and politics and for many years. I know a lot about the subject. I have strong opinions about the subject and a very fixed point of view. But on the other hand, I want to talk to you about something much more important than politics. And it is about politics, but it is not about the politics of the governing of the United States. It's more about the politics of what's going on inside of you, inside your head, okay? Because what's going on inside your head is what's going on outside in the world. Understand? So, how you interact with the world, including how you vote, who you like, etc., your tendencies of just about everything that you do in your life comes from up here. Okay? So, the politics of what's going on inside of you is the most important politics that I can talk about. Okay? And you have to understand that human beings are essentially learning computers. We are learning computers. Okay? And I want to talk about programming, but I want you to understand that using the word programming, essentially that everything is programming. And since we are learning computers, virtually all of our experiences could be considered programming. Okay? So, you know, being caught in a rainstorm and getting soaking wet, that's programming in a sense. That's an experience that shapes you. Now, what you have control over and responsibility over is how the things that happen to you shape you. Okay? And essentially, I wanted to make videos about deprogramming yourself. But this most important thing for you to understand about deprogramming yourself is how programming works and how you are vulnerable and open to programming. And so by you being aware of the kind of human animal that you are, you, in a way, it protects you because it makes you aware of your susceptibilities. Okay? So I want to make you aware of your susceptibilities and your weaknesses as a human being. And I want you to learn to understand the multi-layered environment that we call what's going on inside of our heads. And that's pretty much what it is. It's a multi-layered environment. And you add layer upon layer upon layer of beliefs and understandings to create a certain structure of what you believe and think about the world. And a lot of that stuff is imposed on you also. I mean, some of it is benign. I mean, your first programmers are your parents, okay? And the people you come in contact with. I mean, even in the womb, an infant is programmed in a sense by feeling the events that happen to its mother, okay? Good things and bad things, traumas, etc. Those affect the child in the womb and essentially do something to program it in some way. So, programming is going to happen no matter what. And there are structures in place to constantly influence what you think and feel about the world. But the way that the most power you have to counteract those structures of influence that have been created is by understanding, first of all, that they exist, and understanding that you are susceptible to their influence. And then you can, once you are aware that something is programming, it's very different to look at that in that way. Oh, this is programming going on. When I'm watching TV and the commercials are going on, understand that this is programs. They're programs. And what do programs do? They program you. Okay? So, the best way you can counteract that programming is by being aware of it. All right? And also being aware that, it's very important to the people who run this world that you stay a benign little creature who cares more about accumulating material wealth and being happy than anything else. It's pretty much what they want, okay? So most of us are doing exactly that. And it's not by mistake. But understand, though, it's a human tendency that human beings want to be comfortable and safe. And you see, these people understand that. Most important thing to you is you want to be comfortable and safe. Of course, virtually every animal wants to be comfortable and safe. So, so understand that you're a human animal and what your tendencies are. And that is the point of these videos that I'm trying to make, is I'm trying to talk about politics, but on the politics of your psychological world, okay? The politics of who you have become in this life and why, to some degree. That it has been a multi-layered process, and in most cases, people just accept this stuff that is kind of heaped upon them psychologically without really realizing it or taking responsibility for it. And even the simplest things, if I stripped you down, if I wanted to come to an understanding with all of you, because look, we all are different genders. We all have different ethnic backgrounds. We all are raised in different class and social environments. All those differences give us reason to find differences between us, disagreements. But what I would like to do is to create a basis of understanding that we can all acknowledge. You are all, and you are all spirits incarnate in a physical body. Okay? That is something that, now, maybe you don't agree with the concept of spirit, but the fact is you are an energy form that is incarnate in a physical body. Okay? And I think that is something that nobody can deny, regardless of whether you believe in, gods or goddesses or ancestors or whatever it is your spiritual background is. We are all here incarnate in physical bodies. All right? And the way to really deprogram yourself is to strip away everything else and come down to the most basic of understandings about who and what you are. Okay? Because all the other stuff, you have a choice of how important you allow those things to be. Like, for instance, I'm a white male raised in New York. Okay? Now, how much importance I give my race is my choice. Okay? If I was a black male or a white male, all right, I'm a male, and also even my gender. How much importance I give my gender, for instance. How much I identify myself as being a man or a white man is my choice. I have responsibility for how much influence or importance that has. Okay? And so do you. All right? And the whole point of this is that you don't carry things along with you that are not serving your interests. All right? You want to be moving through this life and growing. That's your essential. All life forms are supposed to grow. Keep growing, right? And so, I'm not saying you can change being a white or black male or being a male or a female, and obviously you could do those things through operations and such, but the point is that how much influence you give those things is something that you have control over, okay? Your religious background, for instance, you know, if you were raised Jewish or Catholic or Protestant or Muslim, how important you make those things is up to you, okay? And again, do they serve your greater interests? All right, and now greater interests, that's something else to speak about maybe in another video. Your purpose for being. We have been programmed so much to just believe that the only reason we're here is to accumulate material wealth and, you know, have successful lives. And then you could go into, well, what exactly does it mean to have a successful life? And who taught you what is a successful life? All right? Who taught you that? Where'd that come from? Okay? And how much of that did you accept without any question at all? Okay? All of these things are things, this is how you deprogram yourself. You look at who it is you have become, and you look at whether those things are really what you want to be. Okay? And again, I'm not saying you can stop being a white or black male. Okay? But what I am saying is that the importance and influence that has on you is something you have control over. Okay? So, and that is the beginning of deprogramming yourself, is that you start from scratch. You try to strip yourself down to the most basic, fundamental understanding of what you are. And then you add on to that as you go. And that is how you help reshape your own psychological environment and deprogram yourself. What do you think? All right. You give that some thought, and I'm going to take a break. But I hope that that was helpful and well spoken. So this is Travel Sage, and I want to talk about Travel Sage, the name. You know, Worldtravelsage actually is what it is. But I got that, picked Worldtravelsage because it was not taken domain-wise. And but I've traveled a lot in my life, and I love traveling. And I chose that name because I find travel to be an incredible vehicle for personal growth. And so, since I identify myself as not an American, not so much a white male, I identify myself as part of the human family. Okay? And when I travel, I am going to be with my human family. And I love that. Okay? So, for me, world travel is an incredible opportunity for you to reshape and grow and find out better who you are and what the world you live in is about, and how to participate in it in a meaningful way. Okay? So this is World Travel Sage, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.